Hello everybody, Iain Robson here, welcome to the edition of Agrofrost. Alright, what's going on today? As you can see, we're just planting this field away. We're almost done. We got a good portion of it done so far. So I'm going to go ahead and continue doing that today. And I don't think we have any of the other fields ready as of yet. No. I think the next field to be ready is going to be field 11. So what we want to do is we want to try and finish this field off first before we accelerate time a day ahead. Just so we get all of the field on the same page, basically. Alright, so let's bring up the GPS. Perfect. Alright, it's funny, I had my girlfriend trying out the steering wheel the other day, and it was really funny to watch her, because she grew up on a farm, right? So for her, it was really funny to watch because it was very natural for her. Let's just do this. It was very natural for her to to drive a tractor, essentially, because she's been doing it for a long. Well, she has done it for a long time, but doesn't do it so often anymore because she doesn't live on the farm. But it's just really funny to see because it's not something I've ever seen her do before. So, but I've seen her bale hay. Yeah, I guess it was hay lots of times. But it was just funny because I guess she was taken back to when she was young, I suppose, and did this on her farm. And I'm going really fast because I haven't turned on anything. Of course. These things happen. Alright, let's take a little turn here. Let's get these sugar beets that are just randomly over here. Yeah, it was funny to watch her. I was like, here, have a try of this, because I literally try Euro Truck with the steering wheel as well, and oh, really? It doesn't oh, I must have missed them completely then. Weird. I let her try the steering wheel in Euro Truck, and she really didn't like that so much. I think it was just the fact that it was a truck. It didn't make sense to her, sort of thing. So because with a tractor, she actually did that in the past. So she totally got the idea behind it. Where the truck, she didn't get into it at all. It was she was like, I let her try. It was a little sort of like job between like inside the city, basically. And she's basically like tried it for like 2 minutes. She's like, I'm done. It was funny. All right, let's get this other piece over here. But with Farming Simulator, she actually, like I said, she's done that before, so for her it wasn't completely foreign, so to speak. So she was seeding my field for me right here, this one over here, for a little while, I don't know, like maybe a couple minutes. Longer than she plays most games, so it's just comical to see. And I think the reason why she didn't mind doing it is because of the steering wheel. So, it just goes to show you, like, sometimes for people to get into a game, sometimes you have to be a little bit more, there has to be a bit more immersion, I guess is the word I'm thinking of. So, but she was like, and I'm done after a certain amount of time, but it was longer than usual because of the steering wheel and whatnot, so I can live with that. Maybe one of these days I'll get her to play Farm Sim with me, we'll do a multiplayer or something. I highly doubt that, just because I know what she's like. And I don't think she would be able to do it for a while, just because gaming's not her thing. Well, not this type of gaming, at least. I think the game she likes is called Candy Crush or something like that. I don't know. It's a mobile game. I don't know how long she'd be able to play Farm Sim for, though. It would be pretty funny, though. I have to admit that. It's funny. I need to really figure out. Like a good use of keys and whatnot in this game for the buttons on the steering wheel and whatnot. Just because they're there, so it's like you have to use them. Although one thing I really noticed that was that threw me off the other day is the fact that you have to actually for Euro Truck and Farm Sim, it's like really like the way you set it up is like really different because. Euro Truck basically, how do I say this? Euro Truck is can use the abilities of the steering wheel much better than Farm Sim can. As far as I know, at least. I'm not an expert because I just got this thing, but with Euro Truck, you can have force feedback. You can have you can set like the sensitivity and all that kind of jazz. Whereas this game, you can't do any of that stuff. I think you can steer the tractor. I don't think you can have force feedback, but there may be a way. I don't know. I haven't fiddled around with it too much yet, but it's been kind of interesting to see the differences between the two games, because Euro Truck has been much different. Let's get these little parts over here. Euro Truck has been like a more complete experience with the steering wheel, I would say. And that's mainly because they can take advantage of it a lot better, it seems like. I don't know why Giants didn't do that, though. Like, why they didn't add, like, that possibility to go into that much depth. Like, they really didn't go the extra mile in that area, at least. Which is kind of surprising. You'd think they would want to, because it allows people to have that force feedback. Like, could you imagine driving through a rut in this game with your tractor and your steering wheel like move around and stuff like that? That'd be kind of cool. But as far as I know, let's just leave it at that. Because as far as I know, they don't have that possibility yet. So maybe in the near future, I have no idea. So it's funny now with this steering wheel, I always want to drive in cab, but I have to be careful because if I drive in cab all the time, people are going to be like, "Could you drive out of cab, please?" Because everyone has a different preference, so it's gotta try and appeal to everybody. So what I've been trying to do is do a little bit of in cab, a little bit of out of cab, but it is funny to try and accommodate everybody in that regards. But I'm doing my best. Let's say that. So I do like this seat here. After I figured out they had to unfold the darn thing. I remember after that episode aired, when I first started using this seater, some of the comments were like, "Oh my god, noob, unfold the darn thing," and yeah, I didn't realize. I had never used it before. I never used it in 2013, so I didn't realize unfolding was such a big thing. So that's the reason why. One of the reasons why I just never realized it. That was one of the things we had to do. And I guess that's the reason why I was like, I have no idea. Where are we here? Let's just do another headland around here. Well, maybe not anymore, but I was going to. But it is a nice seater once you get used to it. Once you realize you have to unfold it. Like I said, the comments were pretty funny. A lot of people are like, "Ian, you have to unfold that thing," and I was like, "Yeah, sorry." Facepalm sort of idea. But you live and learn, I suppose. I just normally with an unfold command on an implement, it's like, you know, it's very obvious that it needs to unfold. I guess for that reason, it really didn't seem like I needed to unfold it, and that's, I guess, the reason why I was like, I have to unfold it? Like, what's the purpose of unfolding it here? Like, there seems like there's no logical reason to unfold this thing, but apparently there was. Alright, let's see if we can't turn around now. Well, it doesn't matter what we get, which way we go. We'll get it done eventually. Perfect. It's funny. It's strange. It's strange having this set up with the GPS because you press the button and the steering wheel doesn't do anything. It just stays where you left it. So what actually happens is your tires are kind of like here. Let me show you. So if I zoom in on the tires here, so here. So technically that's still on the GPS mod, and if you watch, see how the tires slowly turn back to straight, but my steering wheel's turned like a quarter turn right now, just to give you an idea of how much play there is in the steering wheel when you have the GPS mod installed, using the GPS mod. So it really threw me off the first time I discovered that. I'm like, really? Okay. But it is pretty cool still, though. I have to admit that. It's right here. I still haven't gotten good at turning with this yet, for whatever reason. I don't know. Just I think it's because there's 900 degrees of travel, and maybe that's the reason why it throws me off. I don't know why that would be the case, but maybe like if I were driving in here, it'd be easy to figure out well, like where the travel would be. I'm not sure, but it just seems a bit strange to do it because I don't know. Like I said last episode, I just haven't used the steering wheel nearly enough. Like I used the keyboard for years and years and years, so it just seems more natural for me to use the keyboard. So yeah, so this seems like it's easy to determine where you're going here. That's for sure when you're inside the cab, but I'm trying to mix it up a little bit. And also the inside of the cab looks a little dirty now, so. I don't have my mirrors on. If I had the mirrors on, I would probably stay in the cab the whole episode. But I'm trying to avoid that because it's a pretty cool, it's a nice looking map, and this is a nice little way to see it when you're out and about, so to speak. It's a Canadian term apparently. Or at least that's what Hitman and I end up talking like that whenever we're together on TeamSpeak. Whoops, that's a rock. We end up talking like that all the time. So it's like, I'll say like, oh, I have to go out, and he's like, oh, you have to go oot. He's Canadian too, so I don't mind it. It makes me laugh though, because a lot of people hear, a lot of people hear Canadians and they think that's the first thing they think of is like stuff like that. So I guess we would make fun of ourselves in that way, but alright, give me a second. Quick little sip of coffee. Yeah, so because you have to switch between, going back to the steering wheel, in terms of Euro Truck and Farm Sim, because you have to switch the way it's set up, like every time you can have a profile, but because the way you set up Farm Sim is really different. Like, for example, because force feedback doesn't really work in Farm Sim, you have to basically turn it off for Farm Sim, but in Euro Truck it does, so you have to turn it on, obviously. Or you can have it off, I suppose. I like having the force feed on. But what happens is, because of that, like in Farm Sim, if you don't turn off those, well, as far as I know, if you don't turn off that force feedback, your steering wheel will just stay in the middle, and that gets really hard to turn. And there's like a lot of force feedback to keep it in the center, but you really don't need to have that. So, whereas in Euro Truck, it's not the same at all, because the program talks to the steering wheel better, I guess. That's how I'll describe that as. I hope I didn't change the fruit. That would be kind of funny. Okay, I didn't. Just go over that rock a little bit, apparently. Yeah, but it has been a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. I don't mean to sound like I'm complaining or anything. I'm definitely not. I'm just airing my thoughts about using the steering wheel in the game. If you like to drive in cab, you will love a steering wheel. That's for sure. Like, driving like this with a steering wheel is fantastic. I can't get enough of it. But because I am recording, I don't want to stay strictly in there, and it's not so bad. Like, I need to find a good key for the cruise control, because right now I have to use my foot, which isn't a bad thing, but it's just I'm not. I actually, when I drive a car in real life, I really don't like having to keep my foot on the gas either a lot of the time. So when I drive on the highway, for example, it's cruise control all the way for me. That's just the way I drive in real life, so that's the way I like to drive in games as well. I discovered that on Euro Truck, so I don't like having to keep my foot down the whole time or anything like that, because I've always been driving in real life. For whatever reason, I don't drive enough, and I think that's part of the reason why. So because of that, I've never been exceptionally good at maintaining a really good speed. Like, I'm the person on the highway that goes, 80, 81, 82, 79, like fluctuating. I don't know how much I fluctuate when I drive, or how much the speed fluctuates, because I just don't keep track of it that closely, but it is an interesting experience. So, like I said, if you are into driving in cab, steering wheel is awesome. If you like driving out of the cab like this, steering wheel is still cool, but it definitely is stranger. It doesn't seem necessary to have a steering wheel in these scenarios where you're out here, like going, having like a long distance view like that. It doesn't seem as necessary. And for me, that's just my personal opinion. Let's go up the hill here. But for Euro Truck, it's fantastic because Euro Truck, you're always in the cab, let's say. So because of that, it's really, really nice to have a steering wheel. It really gets, well, for me, I discovered it got me into the game a lot more, in the sense of the turns are a lot more precise. Like, I did a couple of jobs last night in Euro Truck, and the precision was a lot higher. And also, it's easier to drive on the highway when it's easier to drive on the highway with a steering wheel. So it's like those small little when you have to merge on the highway, it's so much easier because doing a poor job here. How about we back up a little bit first? On the highway, it's so much easier to. Alright, that was bad. On the highway, it's so much easier to merge because it's a more graceful merge as opposed to like when I used the mouse to steer, it was just like I would just, make sure I was in a lane, not necessarily the lane I wanted to be in. So because of that, stuff like you would just merge and then not worry about staying in your lane. But with a steering wheel, it feels like I'm able to control like which lane I'm in a lot better. Not perfectly, mind you, either, because it's Euro Truck and it's not an American Truck Simulator, so the roads are super narrow. And if you're not a European, the roads seem really, really, really narrow, and they still are. But I'm driving a big truck in the game, so it's not too bad actually. With the steering wheel, it's a lot easier not to get off track as easily. But yeah, like I said, I did a job last night in Euro Truck, and it was a lot easier to stay out of trouble, so to speak. So I didn't hit anything. Well, the AI hit me, but that's another story altogether. But I was able to avoid being hit a lot of the time just by having the extra ability to maneuver, basically. Skip a lane, go down here. But it's actually a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. Although I haven't played with earphones in Euro Truck. I've been using my stereo or speakers essentially. But I really like hearing the engine brake for whatever reason. It sounds really cool. But the one thing I realized is that because I have the shifter now, it's a lot easier to use the H shifter pattern, which is like a normal car essentially. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, not exactly, but that's kind of the gist of how it goes. So it makes your life a little bit easier, so you can choose which gear you want to go into. But with the engine brake, I discovered normally you would downshift and then you hit your engine brake. As far as I know, I'm not an expert on that. So you would do that, and then, as far as I can remember, the engine brake, the idea behind the exhaust brake, they call it in Euro Truck, is to let out the extra pressure so you can slow down faster. I believe that's how it's supposed to work. So because of that, if you downshift and then you hit your engine brake sort of idea, it works a bit better because then the extra pressure, so to speak, allows you to slow down a bit quicker. I think that's how that's supposed to work. And I think it's an exhaust brake, so I think what happens is it opens up a valve or something that lets the air get out quicker. I think it's, or the exhaust fumes get out quicker, so there's not so much back pressure. I think that's how it works. I honestly would have to look it up. I'm not a trucker by any means, and I'm not a mechanic, so I don't know. I guess we'll go here. So that's the reason why I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure that's the way it works. I actually asked Sussex Driver, because Sussex Driver is an actual truck driver, or a lorry driver in the UK there. He explained it to me a while back, but I have a bad memory. Well, a relatively bad memory for some stuff, not other stuff. It depends on what I'm remembering. But as far as I can remember, that's what it is. So it's just really cool. But the weird thing is, you have to, so because you have to downshift, I have to figure out a better key for my engine brake, because right now my engine brake button is like right behind the shifter, so when I want to hit the engine brake, I have to like I downshift first and then hit it. So I'm getting used to it, but it's strange, that's for sure. Although, one thing I did notice is, out of all the parts, in my opinion at least, I find the shifter is probably like it feels the flimsiest, I guess, which is a bit an odd way to say it, but that's the way it seems. Like the steering wheel seems really solid. The pedals seem pretty solid too, but the shifter seems not as solid. That's just the way it seems in comparison to the other two pieces. So because your pedals have to be pretty robust, because you're pummeling them with your feet. So because of that, that's well made, and then because you're always steering, I guess, no matter what game you're playing, they made that fairly robust as well. But the shifter doesn't have that same sort of feeling to it, and I don't know why. I think it's because it's all plastic and there's no metal involved. And I think that's just that's the reason why it feels that way. But so far I've been pleased with it, don't get me wrong, but it just has that kind of, it has a slightly different feeling to it in comparison, so anyways. It feels like the back end of this thing's sliding out. Maybe because this is a lighter tractor. Oh, this is a bad idea. Yeah, this is a bad idea. Oh, well, I guess we'll get some of it. There we go. Yeah, but overall, really pleased. If you're looking for a good steering wheel, if you're gonna play Farm Sim, you really don't need this steering wheel. That's my opinion. You could probably get a cheaper one and be perfectly satisfied with that. The only difference might be is the quality might be a bit different. Like I know they have some Thrustmasters out there, I think they're called, or there are some other ones. I'm not a steering wheel expert. Actually, Bipolar Prophet is a lot more. He knows a lot more about steering wheels than I do, because he's had a steering wheel for a long time, and he uses steering wheels for a lot more racing games than I do. So he would be a better judge of what's a quote-unquote good steering wheel. Actually, I have discovered some really fantastic steering wheels, but they are not meant for a, how do I say this? They're really expensive, let's say that. And because they're really expensive, I don't think a lot of people would be able to afford them. Well, I looked at them and they look amazing, but they are really, really expensive. Like, let me give you an idea of how expensive these steering wheels are. Like, they are meant for like racing simulator setups. Like, you have a cockpit of a F1 racing vehicle in your house. Like, that is the level of quality of these things. But the way it works is you buy the steering wheel and the base of the steering wheel separately. Yeah. And the base, if I remember the price, is like $500 for the base. And the steering wheel is like an extra like $100 or something like that. So that gives you an idea of how expensive they are, but the quality is fantastic. So what you can do is you can buy different steering wheels. So depending on what type of game you're playing, so if you want to play like a club sport type scenario, you can choose like a club sport type steering wheel. If you want to play like with classic steering wheel, you can have like a big wooden steering wheel as well. So it's what's the word I want to use? It's modular. Are we done? Looks like we are. It's more modular. Let's turn this off. We don't need that on anymore. And it's more modular. So because of that, you can pick and choose what you want to. I feel like we're almost. I think. Is that all the fields planted? I don't think so. We're not going to plant field 12 right now. Or 23. We're going to wait on that. We'll stagger we'll stagger our harvest out a little bit. There we go. Perfect. Let's get inside the cab here. Oh no. My girlfriend. So here's a funny story about this. So my girlfriend was planting this field right here the other day. It's just because I was like, hey, try out the steering wheel in Farm Sim, because I was like, try out the steering wheel in Euro Truck as well. So she tried it out in Farm Sim, and she's like, what the heck is there? Why is there like a businesswoman walking down the side of the road in high heels? And I was like, I don't know, I didn't make the map. But she definitely commented on that fact, because I also thought that was strange as well. And she's like, that makes no sense. I'm like, I didn't make the map. but I completely agree with her, so it made me laugh quite a bit. Alright, so yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to accelerate time a little bit. I don't know how long this episode's gone. This is the funny thing. Oh, we're good. We got a few more minutes. It's one of those scenarios where normally I'd have a second monitor, because right now I have the second monitor hooked up to the other computer. Oops, that's not the turn I wanted to make. Normally I have it hooked up to the other computer, or normally I have it hooked up to the same computer, but right now I have one monitor on one computer and one monitor on the other computer, so I can't see how long the episode's been or anything like that. So it's kind of funny. But what we'll do is we'll drive over here. We'll just drop off our cedar right here. There we go. Yoink. Did it drop? Yes, it did. Perfect. There is a mod that I do want to get. It is the, what's it called? I think it's the better steering mod. I haven't picked it up again. I haven't messed around with too many mods, only because the new computer, basically. So I'm trying to avoid doing that too much. So let's hop out of here. And is everything fertilized? I don't think it really makes. Why am I moving like this? That's weird. Alright, let's accelerate time a little bit, and let's go to the... That is really odd. Let's go to the next day. Let's bring up the HUD, actually. And we'll get one stage of growth, or 2 stages. 1 stage. And let's do some apple picking in the morning. Let's grab this guy. And let's drive over there. Man, this apple mod's really cool. You get apples every single day, which is awesome. Alright, so let's drive over here. Grab the apples. We might actually get quite a few apples, I don't know. So how many apples was that? That was, I think, I saw like 50%-ish. Let's get in the cab here. So I'm nice and close up to this tree. So 92%, yeah, so they hold 400 liters worth of apples. So you could, with this trailer, hold I think about 8,000 liters. So you can actually have quite a few trees actually, and have a good little orchard going on, which is really nifty actually. I know Farmer Beavis. If you want to check out Farmer Beavis' Twitter, he actually put quite a few cool screenshots up about like what he's doing. Like he has a really nice orchard set up on one of his farms. I don't know what, I forget which one. I think it's 2 Rivers. I think he's playing on right now, and he has a really nice setup with on the 2 Rivers map. And it looks really nice actually. He has like a whole, like, this is just like a temporary setup, I guess, kind of. I would rather have it in that enclosure over there, but can't do much about that now. Alright, that's that. And we got 2 more to go. So we got 1,400 liters, just pretty good. Let's grab this. Grab the apples from here. So again, this is called the AP. So Alpha, Papa, Foxtrot, Echo, Lima, I think is L. Apfel. That's the name of the mod. Apfel. So that was the phonetics, not the phonetic, what's it called? Oh gosh. I think it's the phonetic spelling. No, it's not the phonetic spelling. What the heck is that called? I can't remember. Anyways, but the Alpha, Papa, Foxtrot, Echo, Lima. That's what they use in the military, and I can't for the life of me remember what the name of it is right now. I don't think it's phonetic, but anyhow. But that's how the mod's spelt, basically. So you can look it up on Mod Hoster. You can get it there. Which way do you want to go? Actually, I want to go the other way. Oh, well, that didn't work out so well, did it? We'll just disregard the fact that I jackknifed that trailer. So you can find it on Mod Hoster. You do need some other parts to it in order for it to work properly, but what we're going to do is, this thing should be empty now. I think we said it was about 400 an hour. Yes, perfect. So let's let's grab the placeables. And this is the one we have right now. We don't want that. We want... Oh Oh no, maybe that's the one I want. No? Oh, that's for cucumbers and tomatoes. That's just for apples, and I am looking for... Where is it? Here we are. The sales kiosk. This should have apples. Yeah. Apples, pears, cucumbers, tomatoes. Is that corn and potatoes? Okay. So we're going to place it in the same spot. Oh, I don't want to put it too... which way is a good place to put it? Because the thing is, you have to go... where's a better place for it? I could put it in here, but we don't own those fields anymore, so I don't want to do that. I'm kind of rude. This is the ideal spot. I don't know how we're able to. Let's just let's go to the garage and let's sell this kiosk right here. Yes, I want to sell it. Perfect. And then what we'll do is we'll go to the shop and then we'll place this guy here. There we go. And perfect. Okay. So here's the shop right here. Oh, did I place it the wrong way? Yeah, I did. That's annoying. I should have zoomed in there. But this is always the problem with placeables. No, garage. And I want to sell this. Yes, I want to sell this. Sell it right there. Perfect. And now I want to buy it. Placeables. Now let me zoom in. Here we go. So there's the front. And how do I rotate it now? I've totally forgot. R? It doesn't seem right at all. Here we go. So the back is like the storage, and the front is the actual storefront. So let's zoom out here. There we go. We'll have the storefront. There. That's good enough. There we go. That's better. Jeez. Let's hop back in our truck and let's go empty the apples. I believe this thing can take... Actually, it doesn't matter if you go in the... You go in the front side of the back half, I don't think. I don't believe it does, at least. Let's just find out. Well, let's just check. We can do it this way. Yeah, you can just go in the front half there. Perfect. Now, if I just drive up here slowly... Should be good. Or maybe not. Oh, maybe you can't. Maybe it's only in the back half. That's strange. I thought you could. It looks like you could. Alright, let's just do this then. It's funny, I know these trees you can drive through them, but I really don't want to, but if this is the only way. Strangely reminded of the movie Highlander. Yeah, there we go. A. It's not A. Give me a break. Oh. Okay, so now we have a... There we go. Now we have a lady there. And she is our sales associate. She's selling our apples now. So we can actually, if we wanted to expand what we were selling, we could also get into... come on. We could also get into selling cucumbers, tomatoes, or tomatoes, and pears as well, if we wanted to go that route. For now, I just want to stick with an orchard, and I believe we can hold, this thing can hold 8,000 liters now, so. Gut vom Hof. Gut vom Hof. Not sure what that stands for. Anyways, so I think I'll stop the episode there, and now we have a sales associate selling our apples. But we could add other things there if we wanted to. Anyways, folks, that's it for me for today. My name's Iain. Robson has been Farming Simulator 2015, coming at you from Agrofrost. Catch you guys later.